Morrison stepped up really well there and wins that physical battle over the youngster, and it earns the foul.
Well, Dos Santos, against a much taller and more physical opponent, still able to make a contest, but it was seemingly Morrison's ball as soon as she anticipated it and jumped the pass. And now Alana Murphy on this long-range free kick in midfield. What have Victory drawn up? Murphy looking for a glance, and the touch is Morrison's, but it was an up and under rather than steered on goal. Sydney FC send it behind for a corner.
Well, they're making Sydney FC uncomfortable. They know that in aerial duels, Sydney FC haven't really stepped up so far this season, and usually teams that far out take a short free kick, but the Victory, they're going long here.
Sydney FC have the worst aerial duel record in the league. The only team going at worse than 40% of aerial duels won. Janchevsky near post, Abini, an uncontested header, and contacted a penalty. Alex Chidiac floored by Millie Farrow, and Melbourne Victory will go to the spot to try and score the opener. Sydney FC players, they go to Beck Mackey, and the captain Tobin is protesting.
Cleared well by Ibini there, and there is contact. I don't know if that's a penalty, though.
Well, Millie Farrow and Alex Chidiac contesting the ball. The question is, who gets to the ball first, and does that mean that Millie Farrow forfeited her rights to challenge for the ball? Anyway, Alana Janchevsky, who scored a penalty against the Wellington Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, is back on duty here to take the spot kick left-footed. Talia Franco waits in goal. A massive moment in the big blue. Deep breath from Janchevsky. Here's the penalty. It's Alana Janchevsky from the spots, and she's good for a Victory lead. And Allianz falls silent as Melbourne Victory go 1-0 up in the big blue on the back of Alana Janchevsky's third goal of the season. Two of them successfully converted penalties.
Here's that challenge again, and it did appear Farrow initially got to the ball. But here's the finish from Janchevsky. Franco goes the right way, but it's just too good a finish.
Well, she mixed it up. She went the opposite way to the Wellington Phoenix game, but Franco's still got a pretty good read on it, and Janchevsky says, here's my name and number. Don't forget it. 1-0 to the Victory.
Big start for the Victory here, just what they were after.
Tobin, Sydney FC. Great leadership from Tobin to wave her other teammates away and have the conversation with the referee solo. The last thing you want to do is talk your way into the book, but no VAR in the Ninja A-League, and the referee's decision is final, T.
Yeah, look, the Sydney players were ropeable here. We've got the penalty here again, and see how great a finish that was. Any less than that, I think Franco would have got a touch, but yeah, just super contact there with the ball.
Victory looking to turn the momentum into another goal. Flannery, and it will be a Victory throw. Sydney FC, T, have not scored 2 goals in a game for 11 consecutive matches dating back to last season. So if they're to win today, they've got to break an unwanted streak that they're currently on. It's not totally noticeable as well, because you can win plenty of games 1-0. Last season's grand final case in point, but they haven't scored 2 in the same game for a very long time, including every match this season.
Yeah, and at this point, I think, you know, I think they're just happy with the 3 points and to sort of kickstart them. So far, not the start they were after.
Low. Chidiac. Pickett. First thought is to head back to Bunge. You see Farrow pressing all the way up to Newbon here, who's left her penalty area, but has an easy pass to Morrison, connected successfully. It's a little trickier now, though. Janchevsky dispossessed by Thompson. Dos Santos looking to capitalise. And Janchevsky's hurt herself in making that tackle. Slowly getting back to her feet, doesn't seem too distressed. Here's Beatty Goad, off and running. Goad waits for Chidiac to make a move, and the ball is cleared away by Thompson. And referee Beck Mackey just wants to have a word, seemingly, to Nat Tobin, the Sydney captain. You've worn that armband, T. What do you think they're discussing?
Look, I think it was a little tug by Janchevski on Dos Santos moments ago. So a bit of frustration with the officials at the moment, off the back of a questionable penalty.
So Tori Chimeth boots that one 20 rows back. Here's the incident we were talking about. Yeah, and it's a pretty obvious foul, isn't it?
I mean, that's a foul any day. Simple whistle and move on.
Sometimes the captain has to go in and argue for the next one. Lucy Johnson on the ball here, finds Caspers. Ibini. So much of Sydney's attacking has been skewed out to this left flank. Ibini can't connect the pass, though, to Farrow. Newbon just takes a touch as a precaution, and now victory from the right back corner. Bunge, full of confidence. And here is Pickett. Looks to drive it out into space. Rachel Lowe led to the ball by Tobin. Tobin's back pass. Thompson. And Pickett lunges in, got a foot on the ball, puts it out for a throw.
Both teams with the high press so far today. Victory doing well to get out, but Tobin at the back has got it on lock.
Pickett wins the header, but it's going to break for Johnson. Can't find a teammate. Morrison slices away out into the Sydney FC technical area, which Anto Juric is prowling at the moment. Kayla Morrison very much the heartbeat of this victory team. Not just an on-field captain, but a great off-field mentor to so many players, particularly many of the new ones breaking into the system for the first time. Here's Farrow finding Dos Santos, a window of opportunity perhaps for Dos Santos, and it caught a deflection off Murphy at the last second to take it behind for a corner.
Great touches and vision there from Farrow to switch that ball out to Dos Santos, and she does her thing with her skills and gets a great shot away for a corner.
Scored the game before last right here at Allianz against Newcastle, Indiana Dos Santos. And now she's taking the corner immediately. Glancing header away by Morrison, and then Janchevski sweeps the left foot through the ball. Bryson hoping for Tumeth in the air. Tumeth won the initial header. Morrison away, Janchevski, D'Apollonia, and does well to protect the ball. Morrison to shouts that Princess Ibini was advancing from behind, and Morrison kept her head and the ball. And now clears to Lowe, and Flannery's away. Lowe scrambling back to her feet. Such is the excitement to get the ball out to the flank. And here is Flannery, the intended target, guiding it across onto the head of Thompson. And it's headed away. Murphy, victory reset. Now Pickett, and just missed the touch there, but well, a couple of players have gone slipping at times, and you just saw Rachel Lowe there right when the pass was on to Flannery. She lost her feet at the key moment. They still got a cross out of it, but it wasn't quite the move they were hoping for.
Yeah, and they tend to water the pitch pre-game, so I'd say it's down to that slickness, but Lowe was very fortunate that Bryson decided to retreat then, otherwise she would have lost possession of that ball.
This time Tobin leads Lowe to the ball. Bryson, see Janchevski, Flannery I should say, applying the press. Now Pickett does well against Farrow. Murphy loses out to Bryson. Johnson. Sydney FC have swapped their wingers here. Princess Ibini's gone over to the right. What do you think the thinking is there, T? Because Ibini versus Pickett was a duel that seemed to be working pretty well for the Sky Blues.
It was working, Teo. I'm not too sure what the deal is there. Perhaps just a bit of a mix-up in general. Perhaps they were caught, you know, on opposite sides and just decided to switch for that moment. But you can see Princess slowly, well, she was retreating back.
We'll wait and see. Maybe next time Abini's on the right, and Dapolonia is looking for victory's own right winger, Nikki Flannery. And she's going to back her speed here against Bryson, and Bryson in the nick of time got a tackle in and a little deflection as well. Flannery can protest, but the assistant referee says it's Sydney FC ball.
We have seen Sydney FC employ that switch of wingers in the past as well. From memory, Vine and Abini did that a bit last season as well.
Pickett with physicality. Farrow sold the contact. The referee wasn't interested in whistling. And so play continues. Beatty Goad. And T, you've noticed the wingers that have indeed swapped back?
Yeah, so I'd say just the way things ended up during the run of play, they just decided to swap based on location.
So next time we see Princess Abini on the ball, it should be back where we've seen her so far in the first 23.5 minutes of this game. Sydney's left flank. She's defending here as the Sky Blues do indeed win possession. Bryson gifts it back to Flannery. Bunge into the back of Farrow. Caspers won the ball off Chidiac. Johnson tried to catch out Newbond with the element of surprise, but just scooped it in the air.
It's pleasing to see Johnson making her start for Sydney FC. She's been out so long. Great win there from Caspers. Good pressure. Possibly a foul, but positivity there from Johnson to get a shot away.
Just a third game of the season for Lucy Johnson, who's up to 39 career now. Started out at the Newcastle Jets. It is a Tasmanian originally. Switch there was a little ambitious from Murphy. Underhit the pass, and Abini, well, tried to brute force that through the middle of the pitch and just beyond the run of Farrow.
That's a type of error that Sydney are trying to rectify in order to get better results and more entries into the box and shots away.
They will have an attacking half throw in here.
Credit to the Sky Blues. They've kept the energy up, although there was a disappointing penalty call and they've gone one down. That energy is still quite intense.
Can they now produce the moment that puts them into shooting range in this area of the pitch where they've so far met resistance in the Victory back line? Pickett to Dapolonia. Showed a lot of the ball to Caspers, and it's going to break for Johnson. Sydney yet to put a shot on target. Cross comes Murphy. Now Pickett finds Murphy. Dapolonia, tough ball to control, but did well to get it back to Murphy. Now a long ball from Murphy. It's been missed by Tobin. A window of opportunity for Lowe. And we'll square it here. Chidiac waiting for runners to get forward. Beatty Goad up on the left. Chidiac. Knocked over once, twice by Chevet. Great physical play from Chevet to win the ball. And now Farrow over to Abini. Abini legged by Pickett, free kick. And there won't be a card, so if anything, maybe a good free kick to concede as it stops a fast break for Sydney FC.
So far, Abini is getting the better of Pickett. The last thing Pickett wants is a card as well.
Laura Pickett's a very physical player, made her reputation playing for Box Hill in NPL Victoria. More as a midfielder though, T. She's really only been a defender at the A-League level, but you've got to learn, and it's pretty tough against Princess Abini this afternoon.
It definitely is. Plenty of learning to be done, I think.
Free kick here for young Dos Santos. You see the Victory defence lined up very high here. And so what does Dos Santos have in store? Drifting, hoping for Tumeth, headed by Goad. Caspers brings it down. Goad wins the ball away, and the counter-attack is on. Beatty Goad breaking up to the halfway line. And now Chidiac just going to bide her time here. Murphy and Sydney FC now have their midfield and defence set behind the ball. Murphy. Pickett getting forward, looking to challenge. Ball's deflected away. Chevet. Driving through the left, Margot Chevet, and Claudia Bunge went with a full-length slide challenge and was able to get a toe on the ball, and now protects it well. Pickett to Chidiac, able to step out of a couple of challenges and then gets wiped out. Advantage given. Flannery trying to avoid the referee and eventually gets the ball onto D'Apollonia. Sarah D'Apollonia to Rachel Lowe. Lowe took a look at what was going on inside the penalty area and decides to send it back out to Beattie Go. Murphy. Chidiac. All of Victory's playmakers assessing the options here at the edge of the box. Who's going to play the right pass? That one not the answer as it's blocked away by Thompson, but coughed up immediately. And Chevsky to go.
See the Victory team, they're quite narrow, need a bit of width. Sydney FC have that low block at the moment, very hard to play through.
Goad's pass deflected to Chevet, and loose touch means we can reset with Newbon.
Sydney really good at winning the ball, but it's keeping possession that just not too good at the moment.
Case in point, they've won the ball. What happens next? Chevet. Over the top, and this time Pickett can lean into the header and steers it to Murphy. Victory looking comfortable in possession for now. D'Apollonia says to Pickett, run for me. Get up the right flank, but Pickett wants to retreat here and made it a little difficult for Bunge because Farrow got in and won the ball away. And then Farrow took on Bunge. Back to the Victory it goes. D'Apollonia holding off Caspers.
Farrow working really hard up top to win that ball that just didn't get the support quick enough to release.
There's a lot of chasing shadows figuratively for Millie Farrow. Of course, you can see the shadow of the grandstand is creeping across the Allianz pitch at the moment, but sometimes those GPS numbers, T, they can be a little misleading if you're running after a lost cause. It's about the economy of when to sprint and when you move and when you go, isn't it?
Absolutely, Teo. It's unnecessary running that really makes you fatigue early, and you have to be working as a whole unit for things to pay off out there.
Goad against Dos Santos, and last touch was indeed off Indiana Dos Santos. It's out for a goal kick. And here's some of the young fans chanting away. I don't think they'll care too much about the ladder at the moment. The Sydney FC team has really captured the imagination over the last couple of seasons with their back-to-back championships. Of course, Courtney Vine was at the club last season, helped get so many fans into the Ninja A-League, and now this team really carrying the burden of expectation to back up and go for a three-peat. They find themselves behind in the big blue here today on a day where Sydney FC really need a result. And that giveaway is going to invite on yet more pressure. Rachel Lowe has got Flannery breaking out to the right. D'Apollonia waits in the middle. Flannery biding her time here. Went for the shot instead, and it was blocked immediately. Lowe. Twisting away from Bryson.
Hold!
Sante Juric shouting hold from the sideline, and hold, at least hold Low up is what Bryson does, but they can't get the ball. Sydney FC. Murphy back to Bunge.
Definitely the theme of the day is that word hold, and whether it's in possession or out of possession, that seems to be the instruction today.
Good enough, go Indy!
So Victory try the left flank instead. Janchevski, neat underlapping run from Dapolonia, but immediately confronted by two opponents. Back to Janchevski, scoops in across, half volleyed away by Bryson. Murphy resets at the feet of Morrison. Dapolonia, that's a great pass from Morrison and Dapolonia, who did score her first A-League goal last weekend against Canberra. Can't blame her for trying there, but a great pass from Morrison to put her in position.
Yeah, it was a really effective pass there from Morrison through the lines. Dapolonia had some space there and she let rip. We have seen her score in recent weeks, so why not have a go?
I have described her as the Swiss Army knife of this Victory team. Jeff Hopkins does like his players that he can put in defence, that he can put in the front three. Today we see Dapolonia playing in midfield. We've seen Paige Zoyce, who is still out injured, deployed in that sort of a role in the past. This season it's Sarah Dapolonia who seems to go in wherever the team needs a fix. Here's Ibini against Pickett, and Pickett takes the points on this occasion. Well done by the young defender to win the ball away. And Flannery can go, Chevet chasing. Flannery trying to dig deep for more sprinting metres. Chevet goes rolling out of the way, but Tobin takes over. And Nikki Flannery was pushed right into the red there, and she sprinted up into the attacking third.
Here's the challenge from Tobin. She's been really busy so far in this game. Really good defending there.
All a little bit static inside the field of play. Eventually the throw-in comes and Pickett wins another 15, almost 20 metres. So a throw-in level with the penalty area now. Not sure if Victory have a long throw specialist. I think Rachel Lowe is perhaps talking strategy here about what to try. Lowe still looking for a first goal of the season after scoring 12 last campaign. Referee saying, hurry it up. In comes the throw. Janchevski was the target. Tobin gets a touch and then hooks it back into the face of Janchevski. It's out for a goal kick, and Alani Janchevski's just a little dazed after that contact right on the nose.
Sydney made harder work of that than it needed to be. Perhaps a call there from Franco. No danger. She could have collected that, and Sydney could have started a play there. But nonetheless, they do work for a goal kick.
No call for the trainer. Janchevski happy to run off that little blow. Just the shock and the impact, but not too affected. The goal scorer, Sydney FC's Cove, still making plenty of noise, still hoping their team can find an equaliser in the 10 minutes plus stoppage before half-time. Possession count has swung severely in Victory's favour. Chevet on the move, riding a challenge from Murphy, and then going in and fouling Dapolonia herself.
Just too much there from Chevet. Initially, she did really, really well to regain possession and get away from her player, but just held on to it for too long there.
We saw Nat Tobin chewing the ear of Beck Mackey off earlier in the game. Now it's Kayla Morrison's turn, the Victory captain, to have words with the referee. For the most part, it's been a pretty well-behaved game, though, Tim.
It has. There's been enough spice and it's not overboard. And
high tempo. The ball speed's been really good.
It has. It's really entertaining.
I think Victory would be acutely aware that at times they have been playing with the handbrake on this season. I think the first head-to-head against Melbourne City was perhaps the game of the season so far, the 3-2 loss in the derby. So we know they're capable of playing free-flowing and entertaining football. I guess the thing is they won't argue. An ugly 1-0 win away to Perth, a fairly forgettable 2-0 win last week away to Canberra. It's 6 points in the bank. It's the reason that they're currently contending for top spot.
Yeah, currently third on the ladder, undefeated in their last 5-6 games. So I think they're pretty satisfied with where they're at this stage of the season.
Farrow, body checked by Bunge, and it's a free kick in shooting range. And Claudia Bunge is going to receive the first yellow card of the game. Millie Farrow able to get...
Here is the foul, and a bit of a clumsy one from Bunge there. Didn't get the ball at all.
Such was Farrow's desperation. You saw the little bounce there as she tried to get back to her feet and just couldn't do so. Teammates or direct shot? What do you think Indy Dos Santos is contemplating with 3 victory players in the wall?
This is prime position for a shot, I think, Teo.
Dos Santos, 17 years old, already playing her 30th Ninja A-League game. Is she about to show us something really special from this free kick? Here's Dos Santos. It is a shot, and it catches the outside of the post. And it also caught the glove of Courtney Newbon. Corner coming up.
It's a great shot here, and an equally important save for victory. She gets that up and over the wall, dips nicely.
And immediately taking the resulting corner. The header from Chumeth. Wide at the near post. And out for a goal kick. Better from Sydney FC, though.
Much better, and good positioning from Chumeth. She just couldn't get the connection on that ball that she wanted to.
So confirmation there of Claudia Bunge, the New Zealand international defender, being the first player in the book today. Chidiac working with Janchevski, the back heel, straight to Dos Santos. Caspers, Johnson, Ibini. See the run of Bryson on the overlap, and Ibini obliges. Faye Bryson bombing forward here. Now has to stop, takes on Pickett. Pickett uses her strength, and that is why Laura Pickett is in the Ninja A-League, because she's got this amazing physicality, T, and showed it absolutely perfectly there. Well,
she's come on in leaps and bounds in this game so far, and I think Princess Ibini could have done a bit better in drawing Pickett in a little closer, as Faye Bryson overlapped, and they could have capitalised a little more, but full credit there to Pickett.
Sydney enjoying a couple of good minutes, though. The free kick, the corner, and now that break down the left. Can they turn it into a little bit more as they seek an equaliser before half-time? Victory will starve them of the ball here, but you can see the determination of Farrow to go and chase.
Good, girls, good.
Morrison and Bunge happy to calm everything down.
Calm. Talk, Faye, look around. Faye, you gotta look around.
And now Bunge decides to take the game on. Low, running backwards with the ball. Flannery, flag stays down. Nikki Flannery. Veering central here, Flannery is going to shoot on the left. It is her non-preferred side, and it caught a defender to take the sting out of the shot regardless.
Victory causing Sydney trouble going forward. There's a lot of movement from their attacking players. Rachel Lowe in particular able to pick that ball up between the back line and the midfield.
And it was smart from Bunge and Morrison there. They just identified that Sydney FC was starting to attack in waves, and they slowed everything down and spent some time on the ball. Sydney FC want to spark this back to life down at their attacking end, though. It did feel as though they were starting to put a few promising phases together.
They look really good when they're patient and they pick the right passes.
Chevet's diagonal ball, Ibini. Johnson. Casper's really clever. Ibini is going to shoot and send it well wide, but that was a neat little step over pass in the middle of the pitch from Maddie Caspers.
That was a beautiful passage from the Sky Blues, and great touch from Caspers, but that continued run from Ibini is what made that whole event happen, and fortunately she couldn't get that shot on target.
Sydney FC are by far the lowest scoring team in the league. 5 goals this season. The next lowest is 8. This is their 8th game that is nearly halfway done here today. Chevet. Johnson. Bryson. And asking a lot of young Dos Santos, and heading the ball tends to be the very last thing that young players develop, T. Unless you grow up in a sport that involves hands like netball or Australian rules. Often young footballers, it's hard to expect them to score headers, especially in their teenage years.
Yeah, look, for some it is a strength. For Indy Dos Santos, I think, you know, she's far better with the ball at her feet there. And
well, risks here. Newbon coughs up possession. Farrow. I guess that's why you buy a ticket in the lottery, T. Millie Farrow's done a lot of unrewarded running today, but nearly caught the goalkeeper in possession there. Sydney FC stay on the attack. Daplonia nibbling at the heels of Dos Santos. Tumeth drops the ball at the penalty spot. Morrison heads away. Chevet. Dos Santos. Johnson. Tumeth. Oh, the build-up was promising from Sydney, and Chevet throws her head back in frustration after the cross at the end of it all was blocked.
Just the execution of that final pass once again, although Farrow did look a tad offside there. He's definitely working hard though, and showing really great character today, Farrow.
The territory battle is swinging in Sydney's favour. They're spending a lot more time down at attack. Taylor Morrison identifying that, winning the ball back after stepping out. You see here, Sydney FC saving their legs, letting Victory possess the ball in their defensive third, but now Bunge wants to get things moving forward. Second ball is there to be won, and it spills to Chidiac, who won the penalty that has Victory in the lead at the moment. Feels like a better game than one that currently has the only goal from the penalty spot. It feels as though both teams have been committed to trying plenty from open play. Can Sydney FC change the situation before half-time? Nabini blocked away.
It is a high-quality game, Teo, and definitely doesn't feel like Victory deserved that 1-0 lead.
Bryson down the line. Farrow can't keep possession. Morrison and Daplonia complete a 1-2. It's a nice pass from Daplonia to Janchevsky, and then can't quite link up with Flannery. Franco's come out, and that was hair-raising. Almost shades of last night. Casey Dumont and Naomi Chenema, who got mixed up on the way to copping up a goal to the Central Coast. On this occasion, Sydney FC live to fight another day. Tumeth, and Dos Santos is just caught behind Goad here, who's trying to avoid conceding a corner, and Morrison twists it back towards the line. Janchevsky's done well enough to keep the ball in, but now there's a resulting tangle, and a bit of afters here. Margot Chevet not happy with how Alana Janchevsky was contesting the ball as we go into 2 additional minutes at the end of the first half.
A bit of spice there and clash between the two. Certainly add to the game, I think.
Well, it is a big blue, and even though in the Ninja A-League at times, because players have played in junior national teams together or been teammates across so many of the clubs, it can be a lot more collegiate, but safe to say that there is a healthy rivalry between these two teams.
There is, Taylor. There's just too much history between the two, so it certainly plays on everyone's mind.
And the end result of that confrontation is that Victory have the restart. Long ball. Thompson around the corner, can't keep it in.
Feels like this half's just gone by in a flash, really.
It's been, as you say, a good standard game. Ball speed's been up. Feels as though it has a lot more to offer in terms of the score, though. I guess the lingering concern might be that Melbourne Victory, when they want to pull up the handbrake, they really do know how to defend. It's just they won't do that too early, you imagine. Sydney FC have got some attacking weapons on the bench. Mackenzie Hawkesby, how many minutes does she have today? The young striker Amber Luchtmeyer, of course, the ultimate super sub last year's grand final hero Shay Connors, all waiting on the Sydney FC bench. That's for the future. Right now, Victory are on the attack. Laura Pickett working with Alex Chidiac. And Sydney FC's defence stands tall. Bryson won the ball back. Johnson breaks into the middle. Only seconds left to play with for either team here. Kayla Morrison saw the ball and took it. And Victory, do they have one last hurrah? As a body slam there in shooting range. Jordan Thompson with the judo moves on Rachel Lowe, and it's a free kick right at the edge of the shooting limit outside the box. And a yellow card as well for the American defender Thompson.
Yeah, just a bit of frustration seemed to be shown there from Thompson. She had Lowe facing backwards, so really didn't need to pull her down.
I think that's called an ippon in the Olympic judo, when you drag someone down like that, T.
Wrong sport then.
So a show of strength, but a yellow card to go with it, and a free kick right at the end of the half. Now, we've seen Alana Murphy score long-range free kicks. We know that Alana Janchevski has got a great left foot. They're going to keep the Sydney defence guessing here with what you would think might be the very last phase of play in this half.
Probably suits a right footer, given where it is, but you never know. Both very good long-range shooters here.
So the two Alanas, which one will it be? Murphy or Janchevski to end the first half? It's Janchevski, it catches the wall, and will Victory be given time to take the corner? Beck Mackey's pointing, so even though we've gone 3 additional minutes at the end of the first half, no thoughts of blowing the halftime whistle just yet. Juric saying organised Talia to Talia Franco, the goalkeeper. Who's marking Kayla Morrison? It looks as though Tori Tumeth has gone and put herself shoulder to shoulder. Murphy's corner in, swinging at the near post. Abini heads it away. And it's repeat corners. And still no halftime whistle in sight. Murphy again. Corner right onto the goal line and headed into the gloves. Laura Pickett puts it into the gloves of Talia Franco. And as Franco boots it long and away, we've ticked into a 5th additional minute at the end of the first half. And indeed, that is half time. And the 31st Big Blue has been entertaining so far. A puff of the cheeks from the goal scorer, Alana Janchevski. Her penalty kick, the difference between the teams. But you feel like there's so much more to the story here. Sydney FC in desperate need of a response. And Kayla Morrison laying down the law at halftime of what has been a high-quality game so far. Sydney FC 0, Melbourne Victory 1. Teresa Polias, let's get into the match highlights. And we start with Melbourne Victory, seemingly from the very first minute, a real attacking intent to their play. They did.
They went forward early, combinations between their attacking players, and Franco was very busy. Makes a great save here. Great delivery from Victory here, and Morrison unlucky not to get on the end of that. Tumeth had a couple goes in the box, getting in right areas, just couldn't direct that ball on goal, and then the penalty, which really, having another look at that, I just don't think it was a penalty, but great penalty finish from Janchevski in the end.
And that was the decisive moment on the score sheet. Janchevski with 2 penalties in the last 3 games, going in different directions. Even though the keeper went the right way on both of them, they both found the net. This was Indiana Dos Santos catching the outside of the post.
She did really well to get that over and dip onto goal there, and a great save from Newbon.
And then Millie Farrow nearly won the lottery as she pressed up to the goalkeeper there.
Super work from Farrow here to put Newbon under pressure, and almost paid off for Sydney FC.
And the frustration from Millie Farrow. Let's take a look at some of the underlying numbers. Victory dominating possession by the end of that first half. Shot count actually level, but 3-1 on target. T, anything that suggests that Sydney FC will want to skew the numbers, or do you think they're actually happy with the game style that has produced this halftime, scene at the moment?
Look, I think they'll be happy with the intent out there, the desire, but still, I think, far too many turnovers for a team of Sydney FC's quality. I think Victory will be satisfied going in away from home 1-0 up at the break.
That halftime score is Sydney FC 0, Melbourne Victory 1. Halftime at Allianz Stadium. It's already been an action-packed weekend of the Ninja A-League. Let's check out the highlights now of last night's match between the Perth Glory and Central Coast Mariners.
It's always interesting getting an early read on what the pressing triggers for each side might be. How aggressive they are willing to be in the press. Here's a lovely ball over the top. Megan Wynn, the Welsh international, can't get past Puxty, so she'll play it back for Wainwright. The shot from distance, dangerous! Required a fantastic save from Sarah Langman. Holler on the ball, a snapshot. Langman did extraordinarily well once again to get up and tip that over the bar. No doubt she'll be learning to add a few more strings to her bow as she gets older. That's a lovely ball through. Tanika Lala not able to get there. Langman smartly out to it. Took a risk, Sarah Langman, because if she'd gotten that wrong, not only would that have been a foul, it would have been a red card as well. Tanika Lala's ball. It's a good one. Finding Wynn. Megan Wynn, can she return the favour? Can't beat Puxty at the first time of asking. She'll play it back instead. Ball in from Tathan. Holler is there. And Sarah Langman rises highest to palm it away. Martin playing essentially to none, and now through to Pennick. Jade Pennick, can she open the scoring for the Mariners? It goes wild, it goes wide. Her hands are on her head because that is the best chance the Mariners have had in this game. Rory driving forward. Can a ball of quality be delivered? It's cut out by Taylor Ray. And now Fuller. Ball over the top, searching for Pennick. Oh, confusion at the back. And Pennick plays the ball into an open net. The Mariners, in extraordinary circumstances, have the lead late in this game. Will that be the knockout blow for the Mariners? Well, Naomi Chinema at 6s and 7s here, a miscommunication. It was that touch from Chinema that took it away from Dumont. And Pennick, all she had to do was pass the ball into an open net. A dreadful mistake by the home side. Can they score a goal that would lift the roof off HBF Park? And Sunaga, she's gone to ground, appeals for a push. Not given. Well, that's fairly clear, hands in the back from Taylor Ray.
It was a game that certainly kept us guessing right to the final whistle last night. And don't forget, the Ninja A-League action continues tomorrow. Let's take a look ahead to the game between Canberra United and the Newcastle Jets.
The Newcastle Jets look to put that 6-1 thrashing they suffered at the hands of Brisbane Roar behind them as they travelled to McKellar Park on Sunday to take on Canberra. This will be the first meeting this Ninja A-League season, but if last season was anything to go by, it should be a high-scoring affair, with two sides combining for 13 goals in just 2 games. Canberra United went down 2-0 to Melbourne Victory in round 7, but a strong second-half showing should give them some confidence. While the Jets failed to capitalise on their come-from-behind win over Sydney FC in round 6, Brisbane Roar ran rampant through their defence. A huge game for both the teams looking to crack the top 6. Catch it on 10 Play or Paramount Plus.
And you can also see on 10 Play and Paramount Plus the match between Western United and the Brisbane Roar. It's a Sunday night special coming up from Ironbark Fields in Tarneit. Get out there if you can, or watch it on 10 Play and Paramount Plus. Welcome back to live pictures from Allianz Stadium, where at halftime of this Ninja A-League match, Melbourne Victory lead the Big Blue 1-0 against Sydney FC. And we are going to talk about results in other games. So if you were planning on watching City versus Wellington later, just cover your ears for a moment. As things stand, we have both teams on 17 points at the top of the league. City are 1-0 down to Wellington. Victory 1-0 up here against Sydney. And of course, that would leave Brisbane potentially in position to jump back to the top of the league if they can beat Western United tomorrow. But as the players return to the pitch and Teresa Polias, former Matilda, rejoins me in commentary, just goes to show how tight it is at the top. And Sydney FC, with 4 points of their own on the live table, really need to do something about the situation they currently face.
They really do, and they had a positive start to the game. The first half was action-packed and had plenty of energy. I'll be happy for that going in at half-time, but disappointed to be 1-0 down. Obviously, they got another mountain to climb in this second half.
We discussed potential substitutes for Sydney FC at half-time, the likes of Shay Connors, Mackenzie Hawkesby, Amber Luchtmeyer, plenty of attacking power on that bench. But what about the Victory bench? Jeff Hopkins has been a little bit less inclined to turn to his subs if he's happy with how things are trending this season. He's got the attacker Ella O'Grady, the young attacking midfielder Ava Brightus, the young defensive midfielder Rosie Curtis, and, well, still young, but relatively speaking, far more experienced midfielder Sophia Sakalas. So is there a sub for either team you think we might see sooner rather than later? I'd
say Sydney will see some subs soon. Victory, I mean, they're 1-0 up. They've got a lot of attacking players on that bench, so depends the approach Hopkins has to the second half.
As of right now, the 2-11s that started the match will be starting the second half, so neither coach turning to the bench just yet. Courtney Newbon hoping to bank a third clean sheet of the season. There is the Victory bench. From nearest to the screen to furthest, Brightus, Sakalas, Curtis and O'Grady. O'Grady, who's got the jacket on, the other three all just enjoying their day, and backup goalkeeper Gio Candy there at the end of the bench as well. As the whistle goes to restart the second half at Allianz Stadium, and a little slip from Kayla Morrison right from the beginning, but is able to recover the ball. And now Alana Janchevsky is hurt, and it looks like an ankle injury to start the second half here, so a bit of drama right from kickoff in the opening seconds.
It didn't appear to be... Well, there's the contact there with Casper's studs on the ankle. Definitely a painful one, that.
Well, there's no VAR in the Ninja A-League, and I tell you what, Maddie Caspers is going to be very grateful that there isn't, because it seems as though neither the central referee, Beck Mackey, or the assistant referee over on the near side, Alexis Johnson, well, is it just yellow, Teresa?
Well, it's definitely a yellow. I think the only one that saw it real clearly was Beattie Goat, and she wasn't very happy about it, but very fortunate, because we've seen ones like that end up as a red card, haven't we?
I can't help but think that if it was the A-League men's, a similar tackle might be under VAR review right now, but instead, Maddie Caspers is going to stay in the game. And, well, Alana Janchevsky's reaction, I mean, my initial thoughts were that maybe it was a block tackle on the ball, but no, it was... I mean, you were a pretty tough tackling player yourself, T, but those ones are a no-no.
Absolute no-no, those. Anything, you know, with that leading with the studs, always a huge danger.
Here's Farrow for Sydney FC. Can they channel some positive energy now? The crowd wants to get behind them here. I think there's a real yearning from this fan base that have got used to so much success that maybe they can make a difference here to Sydney FC's fortunes.
Credit to the fans. They've stood by the team, and it's not that they're playing terribly. It's just results aren't going their way. Shots aren't going in.
Here's Caspers. Goad around the corner and clearing. Murphy gets in front of Farrow. Janchevsky's shaken off the knock from a couple of minutes ago, and Murphy was trying to find a deflection there but couldn't. Just pops it out for a throw. Jimeth hurls it to Johnson. Tori Jimeth. Now Indy Dos Santos. Closed down by Janchevsky, whose clearance finds Lowe and then wrong-footed Flannery, but didn't throw D'Apollonia, and so Victory now recover the ball. Bunge. came short for the pass, returns it straight back to Bunge.
They're happy to take the patient approach here. The victory, they're in no hurry to get forward.
Thompson's header. Murphy. Johnson. And Chevet back to Thompson. Now under a bit of pressure, Margot Chevet. Nat Tobin sensing victory players in the vicinity, but trying to pass their way long to clear the lines. Beatty Goad charging through and does get the reward of a foul for a grab at the shirt. And Beatty Goad, well aware that this will be her final 45 minutes in, for now, competitive football of any sort, and she's going to want to make them count.
The ref takes it back here to that initial grab by Dos Santos, but work from Goad there.
Murphy had everyone guessing, because even though players were set up at the edge of the box, the pass goes backwards and resets in the centre circle. Bunge out to the right. Pickett just waited for the ball to run on there, and Bryson booted it away.
Perhaps that's a bit of an insight into the approach that Victory are going with in this second half. They're happy to hold that 1-0 lead.
Well, it is only one. It is only the odd goal. You're only a misplaced pass or a slip away from parity in the game. And again, we expect that Sydney FC, they're only going to have more and more fans cheering them on as this second half progresses, as more fans make their way into the ground. Goad squeaking it through a gap to Flannery, but not able to set the winger away. Trying to spin and get the better of Dos Santos, but the line wins out.
Last hurrah, just getting as many touches on the ball as she can.
Well, Beatty Goad was the runaway leader in carries, which is running with the ball for a designated number of metres. So she's never afraid to venture down that left sideline, and she has played the majority of her career as an attacking midfielder. It's really through the necessity of Victory's absence of a natural left back that Beatty Goad, as one of the few left footers in the team, has been placed in that position this season.
It's definitely a strength of hers, and I'd say from experience playing against her, she's definitely got the upper hand on us before, and special player. It's sad to see her go.
I'm guessing she was an exemplary sports person. Not much trash talk out of Beatty Goad, I'm guessing, over the years, Dee, if a word at all.
I honestly don't recall a word at all, but she's a good player, good person, and we wish her all the best in what's next for her.
Well, she wants to go out a winner, and there's still so much of this game to be played. Ibini around the corner, trying to get Farrow clear. Morrison got a boot in. Just lunged out and knocked it back to Newbon. D'Apollonia over the top, where there are two Victory players chasing after this ball. And Bryson pushed over the sideline. Sydney FC get the decision. Bunge against Farrow. Now Chevet. Jimeth. And Murphy knocks over Lucy Johnson. And the end result is a victory throw. So comprehensive from Alana Murphy there. Won the ball and won possession.
Best outcome possible there. Good defensive work from Murphy. Tough, unapologetic.
So in the blink of an eye, 7.5 minutes ticked by in this second half with no change to the halftime score. Morrison, Goad. Dos Santos over immediately to cover. Goad through the 5-hole and is able to find D'Apollonia. Chidiac and Bunge. Victory dominating the ball. They had more than 60% possession at half-time, and there hasn't been a change to that trend so far in the second half.
And enjoying dominating the ball and the tempo in this match. You can see Chidiac coming a lot deeper in this second half to ensure that that tempo continues to be controlled.
Farrow chasing again, but the end result is a throw-in from almost exactly the same place. Murphy and Goad, who tries to leap over Indiana Dos Santos, but ultimately coughs up possession. Sydney FC restart from down in the right back corner. Thompson, tumbling ball on, glancing header from Caspers, only as far as Morrison. Newbon waited for Farrow to run all the way up and then cleared, but not to her team's advantage. Pickett. Follow up here from Bryson and a beanie. Trying to get back engaged with the game. Princess Abini was one of the more prominent Sydney players in the first half an hour, but has perhaps been on the outer since. Chimeth. Dos Santos. And Johnson was backing away from the ball. Beatty Goad wasn't. Janchevsky back to Goad. Wrapped up in the challenge by Chimeth, but her attempts to win the ball has only succeeded in sending it out for a goal kick.
You can see as Pickett worked herself into the game, Abini's become a lot quieter, and these are the times they need Abini to continue to step up and continue to get on that ball and go at her player.
Saw Daniel Arzani amongst a host of Melbourne Victory players there, about to go through their final preparations for the Big Blue themselves. And that will be a special occasion. Feels like the big events are actually getting bigger in the Isuzu Ute A-League men's at the moment. Great spectacle between Adelaide United and the Western Sydney Wanderers at Cooper Stadium last night. Right now, though, it's the football on the pitch that's been the story of this one. And whether or not Sydney FC can find a response with the 11 that started the game. You suspect there's only minutes left for them to do something before the team turns to the bench. Here's Abini now, going to work against Pickett. Breaks central, can't beat Dapolonia. Chevet. And now Chimeth. Gets it past Goad, but not Murphy. Murphy wheeling around onto the ball. Really dangerous clearance. And Bryson, tangle of legs. No foul in there, though. And the ball is cleared away. Well, it was just a little bit casual from Alana Murphy, taking a bit of extra time to put a foot on the ball. And that's what's allowed Sydney FC to stay down at the attacking end. Caspers. Really neat spin on the ball, and the shot is high and wide. And even though Faye Bryson's only A-League goal so far was against Melbourne Victory, she can't add to her tally here.
It was great work there from Bryson to actually set herself up for a shooting opportunity, and you can see how disappointed she is in that finish.
Bryson's been in and out of the team this season, her 7th appearance today. And that one goal came last season in Mariners colours away at the home of the Matildas down at Victory's home ground. So she knows what it takes to score against this opposition.
Ante Juric hasn't been afraid to chop and change his lineup this season. Seen him make plenty of early second half changes as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few changes in the near future.
Down the line it goes. Morrison's header. Janchevsky and Dapolonia just caught behind Chevet there. And, well, Chevet, after doing the hard work to win possession, gave the pass straight to Beatty Goad. Newbon has to scoop it away on the left foot. Chimeth headed to no one in particular. Morrison, clearance the same. Tobin takes possession of the ball and then breaking into midfield, able to veer away from Chidiac. And now Tobin takes on Pickett. And Laura Pickett goes to ground, but does so sending the ball out for a throw.
Good run there from Tobin. She definitely enjoys getting higher up on the pitch. but equally good defending from Pickett.
Ibini spinning into the box. Ibini! And there's no dynamite in the boots when it was time to shoot on goal.
Just didn't get that connection that we've seen Ibini able to do in the past. Had a good spell here in their front third, Sydney. They just need someone to step up and put that ball away.
Murphy sends the ball down the right. Flannery's also been largely out of things in the second half, but was almost surprised to have the ball played into her shins there. Couldn't take possession, and Sydney FC thus get the ball back. Farrow working the wrong way, and then tried to hit a pass that just wasn't on. Beatty Goad comes away with the ball, but as you can see, there's not many teammates in the vicinity. So she's got a double back. Janchevsky now, and a throw-in will go Victory's way. It does actually feel like the game's drifting a bit now, T. Sydney FC have had, as you say, moments in this second half, but feels like this game is now primed for one of these two teams to really take charge.
It is, and after all that energy in the first half, it's really impossible to maintain that for 90 minutes. So I think we're going to look to subs now to come on and change the game.
Beatty Goad. That's a great run. Able to leave a couple of defenders in her wake. And the ball out to the left from Janchevsky. Sets Goad away. All about the delivery. And headed away by Tobin. Chidiac following up. Dapolonia holds off Chevet and Ibini. Back to Murphy. Janchevsky, a loose touch. Cleared away by Caspers. Up steps Morrison. Well, that was better. Change of pace there from Victory is what the game was calling for. There's Shay Connors. Hasn't scored yet this season. Her one and only goal in Sydney colours was the match winner in the grand final. But she has a great record against Melbourne Victory. Actually has 4 in 5, albeit all 4 of them were when she was at the Brisbane Roar.
We can see she's warming up now, so wouldn't be surprised if we see her come on very soon.
Is it a day for Shay Connors to finally score a home and away goal for Sydney FC? I don't think a single fan would swap that grand final winner for any other time, though. Pass here for Rachel Lowe, sends it out to Flannery. It was just under hit, though. Cleared by Bryson. And here is Faye Bryson over the top for Ibini. Princess Ibini in a tangle. And held up, but not dispossessed. Advantage given by the referee. Looping over the top. Beatty Goad gets a header away. I don't know, Sydney FC, they didn't really take their advantage, did they, T?
They didn't, and I find them resorting to that long ball a lot of the time, which just doesn't suit the personnel that are out there. And when they're deep into the Victory's back third, it's just not the right time for that ball over the top.
Murphy, pass to Janchevsky, but she's all on her own on the left flank, so has to wait for Goad to advance up. Dapolonia. Goad. Another aggressive run. Possession exactly the same as half-time, 62-minute mark. Johnson's down for Sydney FC. Looks like it might just be a cramp. But for now, Sydney FC, well, is Dapolonia going to put it out? That's a great act of sportsmanship there from the Victory. Maybe it's worse than a cramp, and maybe that's why Dapolonia choose to put it out of play.
You know, Johnson has had a history of injury, so I really hope for her it's not anything serious.
Here's another look. Well, she's pulled up holding, is it a hamstring cramp? And that's why she looks so debilitated at a moment's notice there, T.
Well, given the limited number of minutes lately, it could well be a cramp, and hopefully it is just a cramp and not another soft tissue injury.
It's going to be Lucy Johnson's last act of the game regardless. What did you think of the logic behind starting Mackenzie Hawkesby on the bench today? Because Hawkesby is going to be the replacement here coming on, and no doubt will be determined to do absolutely everything she can in the 27 minutes of this game remaining.
Well, we know the calibre Hawkesby has. She's an amazing player, and I think Ante's given Johnson an opportunity today to secure her spot in the team. I think she did a good job. She had a lot of energy out there, but perhaps bringing Hawkesby on now in this moment, fatigue set in for a lot of players, and this is where Mackenzie Hawkesby can do a lot of damage. She's super fit, she's quick, she's smart, she's skillful. So let's see what she brings to this game.
On comes Hawkesby, first change for either team. Johnson's afternoon is over, and Hawkesby, who has just the one career goal against Victory, that was back in a 6-3 win at Amy Park in January 2023. But she has 20 career goals at this level, and for a midfielder, 20 in 84 appearances is a pretty good strike rate. So let's see if Hawkesby can be the impact that Sydney FC needs coming off the bench. Pickett turning and playing a back pass, and that drew Newbon out of the penalty area, but able to sweep the ball forward and clear. Victory are getting a substitute ready of their own. Ella O'Grady won't be too far away. Here's Chidiac breaking down the left. Cuts it, oh, misses Janchevski with the cutback, and that might open the door here for Maddie Caspers. See O'Grady, the number 7 at the foot of your screen there, standing next to the 4th official. The ball is still live in play at the feet of Claudia Bunge.
Victory doing well there to regain possession. So Sydney FC counter-attack, but they didn't make the most of it. Support for Farrow at times has just been a bit scarce.
Ibini keeps the ball moving, but only up to Morrison. Newbon slices the clearance, but even a slice makes it almost to the halfway line. Now the referee's whistling play dead again because Alex Chidiac has taken a blow to the knee here. And it's not completely clear how this problem has come about, but nerves here because Chidiac in the most recent Matilda squad is a look at some of the bash and crash. And T, talk us through. Well, I think that is the incident there that Ibini's fallen into Chidiac after the ball left the frame.
That's what appears to have happened, and just an awkward collision there, and she is holding her knee. Never want to see players going down, holding their knee. It's always rings alarm bells.
Well, the medical staff will do everything they can to assess Alex Chidiac, but maybe for Victory's sake, it's a bit of good fortune that Ella O'Grady hadn't come on yet, because, oh, GT, that makes me really worried.
That's an awful collision there, an accident at that, but hopefully nothing too serious. She's jogging off, so that's a positive sign.
I wonder if Victory will hold fire on that substitution they were planning, though, with Ella O'Grady, and just wait to see if Alex Chidiac is indeed going to pass all the tests. The physio's putting her through. There's the young Queenslander, Ella O'Grady. Can't wipe the smile off her face. She's just excited to get out there and play. And Alex Chidiac wants to get back on the field as well, because it's 11 versus 10 for Sydney FC. Can they make the most of it? Here's Princess Ibini. Knocking the ball back. Hawkesby. Chevet.
Ante Juric calling for movement of the Sydney FC players.
It's going to be sliced out for a corner take.
A little bit pedestrian at times, going forward at the moment. We saw so much energy in that first half. Just died down a bit in this second half. What can they do here on this corner?
Ante Juric, the Sydney FC coach, watching as the corner is ready. Chidiac back on. It's 11 versus 11 again. And it missed everyone in the air, off shins, and then cleared away. Only as far as Chevet. Thompson, did she stay on side? Jordan Thompson, she did not. Caught out by the Victory defence pushing up. And that defensive organisation gets the better of Sydney FC on the second ball.
That's really smart defensive play there, led by Morrison. Just getting that defensive line up quickly and catching Thompson out offside.
So there's the only goal scorer of the game so far. Alana Janchevski takes her leave. It was this penalty. Well, here's the offside again against Jordan Thompson. All the Victory defence appealing in unison.
Definitely way offside there as that back line had stepped up.
Janchevski's day is done, and on comes Ella O'Grady. So what do you make of the switch there?
A positive attacking switch there from Hopkins. We've seen O'Grady a few appearances this season, and she's come on and lit up the game.
So O'Grady is on for another cameo. The 1 goal against Western United this season and 3 career. Goad, Murphy. Bryson sharks the pass and now plays it to Chevet. Thompson to Tumeth. Down the line and out of Hawkesby. Don't forget the men's at Big Blue coming up on 10 Bold and also Paramount Plus. Sydney FC against Melbourne Victory. Doubleheader. Final 20 minutes of this game. The priority right now, especially for that man right there, Jeff Hopkins. And the 11 players in the white away kits out on the pitch. Can they win it for Beattie Goad in her last Ninja A-League game? Claudia Bunch. Chidiac looking all right since getting assessed by the physio. Morrison. Goad. And Victory win the throw.
It's great to see Alex Chidiac back out on the pitch after what was a worrying few moments there.
It's also the unexpected nature of the contact as well. I mean, as you say, a genuine accident, and that's what made it such a shock to Alex Chidiac that her legs were being taken out completely unexpectedly. Murphy puts a foot on the ball and tries to put it through an almost impossible gap, and Beattie Goad gets the ball booted into the chest. Able to stand her ground. Sydney FC getting the throw. Tobin. He's going to go for distance now, Tobin. And no one's really often chasing after it. A little bit awkward from Pickett. Got it back to Newbon in the nick of time. And now Murphy loses out. Caspers, Farrow. And the build-up just unlinked for Sydney FC at the key stage. Murphy comes away with the ball. Slide rule pass. And away goes the speedster Ella O'Grady, and she can't get there before Talia Franco, and just for a second it looked like Alana Murphy had threaded the perfect pass.
It was a lovely pass from Murphy, but great goalkeeping there from Franco. She showed great conviction there to come out early and claim that ball.
Of course, Franco and O'Grady were young Matilda's teammates over the winter. They're on opposite sides today. Farrow. Tobin. Is the skipper starting to push into midfield a little bit more as Sydney FC chase the game. Hawkesby. Dos Santos going the wrong way. O'Grady block tackle, but it spills to Chevet. Dos Santos's header cleared away from Hawkesby. O'Grady goes to ground. Caspers. Back to Tobin. Dos Santos trying to force a pass. It wasn't on. And now Rachel Lowe. Great little feint. Able to keep the ball under no pressure. Plays it to Chids. And Alex Chidiac. That's deflected over to the right side. Flannery. It all slows down a little bit.
Well, at this point, they've started to manage the game. Melbourne Victory. There's still plenty of time here for Sydney, but you just need a lot more movement off the ball to be effective going forward.
Dos Santos. Here's Tobin again stepping into midfield. Nat Tobin trying to create an overload for Sydney FC, but She's running a lone race here out to the right flank. Farrow received the ball in a dangerous area. And now that might leave Sydney short-suited, I should say, in defence, but Dos Santos makes the block and it's out. But Shay Connors was warming up for some time and now gets to come on and make an impact. And Millie Farrow's search for a first Sydney FC goal continues into a 5th game now. Her number's up and Shay Connors is coming on.
Well, you can't fault Farrow's effort. She's really frustrated coming off and not having got on the score sheet, but the amount of work she got through in that game was huge and didn't pay off, but it's time for Shay Connors to come on and give all she has.
Sydney FC men's gaffer, Wilfred Talay, watching on. Not much he can do about it. It's all over to Ante Juric from here. Will this 1-0 scoreline hold? What minute do you think Jeff Hopkins starts thinking about dropping anchor and playing for the 1-0 scoreline, T?
Look, I feel like it's already happening, Teo. They just really lowered that tempo and not in a hurry to go forward, keeping possession. Whether that's the plan or not, but it seems to already be happening.
Ella O'Grady, a real specialist when it comes to contain and counter due to her breakaway speed. Dos Santos. Caspers, an ambitious pass. Can't find a teammate. Bunge to Morrison. And now Connors off the bench. Chance to go chasing after Courtney Newbon, just as Millie Farrow was, and at least is able to force a clearance that goes out for a throw.
Just that pass selection once again for Sydney FC wasn't quite what they needed in that moment.
Thompson, Dos Santos. The avenues are blocked again. Dapolonia in the right spot, but Tumeth wants to keep Sydney FC on the attack. Caspers. Oh. Dos Santos is following in. And now Beattie Goad hooks it away. And even though the pass didn't find Hawkesby, Dos Santos kept the attack going.
Smart there. Hawkesby knew she was offside and leaves it there for Dos Santos.
Tori Tumeth does have a long throw in the locker, but she's not going to go off the big run up here. Wants Dos Santos instead in a corner, and a little bonus like that, just a little bit of something out of nothing, a free corner kick. Maybe this is Sydney FC's way back into an equaliser.
Smart play there from Dos Santos. She's good with her deliveries. She can get it on the mark here, then Sydney are in with a chance.
It's Dos Santos to take. Tobin the target, and Dapoloni is stuck to her like glue, and then boots the ball away to clear. Victory remained defensively accountable, but Sydney FC have the ball. Thompson. Newbon strides out and didn't even extend the arms. A catch on the chest. Decided not to go for the punch, and a clean catch means it's victory ball.
Clean catch there, and the long ball in from Thompson. But again, just not quite the personnel there to get on the end of those balls. And you said it, Teo, Victory really well organised, and don't have that feel that Sydney can break them down at the moment. They need more movement off the ball to break Victory down.
Still plenty of time left in the game. 13 minutes of regulation to go. Pickett hurls it onto the head of Bryson. Tobin only as far as Flannery. Slight challenge dispossesses Flannery, and then Bryson keeps it away from the Victory winger. Sydney FC down the wrong end as far as they're concerned. Chidiac. Pickett. Flannery. Now Dapolonia. Connors trying to break. it slides, so the referee's going to blow play dead and says it's going to be a drop ball.
Super frustrating there for Sydney FC. It was the right pass selection there from Connors. Nice and patient. Would have been on the breakaway there.
Sydney FC trying to recreate those circumstances, but further up the pitch here, Ibini, Dapoloni, full commitment to the ball and one up with a slide challenge. O'Grady looking to take the game on, and Chevet responds with a slide challenge of her own. Chimeth, Caspers, Connors is on in the middle, but Caspers has got Morrison to deal with on the wing. Tries for the 1-2 with Chimeth, and Kayla Morrison, well, she won the ball, but then Beattie Goad gave it back to Tori Chimeth. Grabbing and grappling, and Goad goes to ground and wins it away with a slide challenge, but a block keeps Sydney in attack, and, well, all it takes is one deflection, one ricochet, and Sydney could be in, but Victory's defence holds out again.
Beck Mackey letting a bit go there, but great duel between Goad and Chimeth there.
And now the clock starts to become Victory's friend as we tick down towards the last 10 minutes of regulation time.
It takes one goal, Teo, to change a game, to change momentum. That's all Sydney need.
Thompson, Chimeth. Tumbling ball to the edge of the box. Pickett cleared as soon as it sat up in front of her, and is going to find the safety of the line. Well, the aesthetics of the football have certainly descended from the first half. Now it is very much Victory playing a preventative style. Sydney FC subbing off Maddie Caspers here for Abby Lemon, so I'm not sure if that'll be like for like or if it will prompt some positional switching, but on comes Lemon, Teresa.
You can see Indy Dos Santos attacking midfield role, and Lemon now takes the position of the right winger.
So will that be the switch that gets Sydney FC back in business? Lemon looking for an instant impact, but Morrison doesn't allow her to take possession. Goad surrounded by three opponents, but squeezed it back to Morrison, and now finds the goalkeeper, Courtney Newbon. Newbon clearing, and onto the head of Flannery. It's broken back into the middle of the pitch, though. Chevet. Volleyed away by Pickett. Dos Santos, Bryson. Hawksby keeps it moving. Chimeth. Space to exploit here. Chimeth right back into the middle. Connors was caught behind two defenders there, though. Thompson. Slide challenge from Dapolonia. Tell you what, hasn't Sarah Dapolonia stuck to every task in this game?
It's just thinking that exact thought, Teo, and nothing has gone past her in this game.
Connors tried to roll Morrison, who cleared, and then the ball is going to run on and eventually find its way out. Morrison again, just looking to sense where the ball's going. Kayla Morrison, she's roaming out to the wings whenever one of the fullbacks needs help, and that's why she marshals the defence the way she does.
That's why she's the leader of this Melbourne Victory side, and has done that all game, really. Smart, organises everyone around her.
Case in point, shouting, pointing, making sure that everyone's where they need to be standing for what looks like it'll be a goal kick for distance from Newbon. Into the attacking half ever so briefly. Pickett passes on the spin. Chevet. Dapolonia. And now Hawksby. Connors brought it out of the air, sends it out to Lemon, and the pass was a little firmly struck for Lemon to be able to chase down. Ava Brightus looks like she'll be the next sub coming on here, the young attacking midfielder. Again, like Ella O'Grady earlier, just very relaxed, very happy. You wouldn't know it's a 1-0 score, T. It seems to be pretty stress-free environment on that victory bench. Different story for Sydney FC. They're the ones chasing the game.
Seems to be the case, and youngsters smiling all afternoon.
Tobin. A left-footed cross here from Nat Tobin. Connors able to take possession of the ball. Wheels back around. Hawkesby. The cross is straight onto the right boot of Morrison, who volleys away. Chevet. Thompson. Clean clearance from Goad. That leaves the ball at the feet here of Dos Santos with Chimeth. Hawkesby. Tobin from distance. And sends it high and wide. Nat Tobin, his only career goal against the Melbourne victory was a long shot at the Dockland Stadium down in Melbourne of all venues. And now we're going to see Rachel Lowe subbed out here for Ava Brightus, and fresh legs in the form of Brightus. Lowe was playing as an attacker, and this seems as though it's maybe more midfield support, given that Lowe was up in the front line.
And she's gotten through a lot of work in this game as well. Been really busy. Didn't get rewarded for it, but Hopkins giving Brightus a few minutes as well.
So, well, Rachel Lowe pretty frustrated. It might have been all smiles for the player coming off, but she's quite cross that her afternoon ends with some 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Interesting one. It is only 5 minutes early, so
ball out to the right. Lemon looking to move it on at all costs. Connors can't fashion a header, and it sits up for Chidiac. Oh, left the ball behind. Left it behind with Dapolonia. Now Flannery. Another errant touch, but Bryson can't capitalise. Flannery can. And Nikki Flannery is off and running. A victory going to go to the corner early. Only the 86th minute. And Faye Bryson's lost a boot. Good to go and get it back on. Great camera work to catch that as it popped off, but Faye Bryson's got it back on without any time lost.
Fantastic catch there.
Brightus. Well, yep, Victory have shown their hand. They're going down to the corner, even at this early stage with so many minutes to go.
They seem really comfortable in the way they're controlling the game at the moment. So trying to just wind down that clock now.
So it's up to Sydney FC to extract the ball and get it into open space. Pickett standing over the ball. This is where the tall physical frame of Laura Pickett can be so handy, and the much more diminutive, tricky Alex Chidiac helping out. Dapolonia, Pickett, and back down to the corner again. Hawkesby able to win it away, but can they escape this corner here, Sydney FC, and get it out into a bit of room? Connors is going to help them do just that. Now Chevet. Chimeth keeps the ball moving, but hugging the sideline, and Lemon appeared to get the last touch before it went out. That's what Kayla Morrison was appealing. I think the decision is a foul by Morrison.
Well, she's led there with the elbow/shoulder, so that's where the foul comes into it.
Now Abini has fouled Flannery, so Victory will get the chance to slow it all down again, and this is death by 1,000 cuts here for Sydney FC, Teresa, unless they can stop the start-stop nature of the game, and more importantly, stop Victory from controlling possession of the ball.
That's the thing, they're in control of whether they give fouls away, and certainly at this point, Victory know how to win a foul and aren't in any hurry to get the ball moving.
Jeff Hopkins is putting his trust in his team. We know that they won it in the last minute against Perth Glory. Against the Wellington Phoenix, though, they were holding on to a 1-0 lead, only to cough up a last-minute equaliser. They've had both the good and the bad in the dying stages of tight games this season. Douglas Costa watching on from the Sydney FC sideline, hoping that the Sky Blues can grab an equaliser. It might not help their situation much in terms of the ladder, but as far as what it could represent, a goal here could be season-shaping for the Sky Blues. Here's Connors on the spin, and it's blocked away by Bunge.
Certainly would, Teo. A goal can change a lot of things, not just the game, but the overall confidence of the team.
Dos Santos, Chidiac, Flannery, and deflected out for a goal kick. And that will take us into the last minute of regulation.
Newbon in no hurry here, and she's got a really, really long dead ball kick on her. The longest I've seen from any goalkeeper I've played with.
And again into the attacking half with a bit of force. O'Grady couldn't control it. Thompson slides straight back out for a victory throw. And every time the ball goes dead, it's going to be an extra couple of seconds off the clock. Just caught the tail end of what Jeff Hopkins was saying there. Get your body into it, I think he was saying.
Yeah, and annoy her. That's what I heard.
All the tricks in the book to get to the finish line when defending a 1-0 lead.
I mean, they're the 1%ers that get you over the line. And
I think it was Ava Brightus, the youngster, that he was shouting it to. Here's Tobin, almost permanently playing in the midfield now, and it looks as though Chevet has gone back into the centre of defence. And Pickett puts it out for a throw. 4 additional minutes. That's how far away Sydney FC are from potentially another defeat and another weekend on the bottom of the Ninja A-League ladder.
it's just such unfamiliar territory for Sydney FC, and in terms of confidence, certainly down, and on the show.
Well, Melbourne Victory fans were getting booed by the Sydney FC fans there for being shown on the big screen.
Definite dislike between the two sets of fans.
Of course, it doesn't get any easier for Sydney FC. Sunday the 5th of January, their next game against Melbourne City. We saw them draw 1-1 in Unite round. Right now, though, they've got 3 minutes to do something about this game right here, right now. Connors crossed to the edge of the 6-yard box, but no one attacking the space. And Claudia Bunge able to clear. Thompson fouled by Brightus. Free kick, wide on the right.
Here's that cutback from Thompson, and she's flipped there by Brightus.
So all about the delivery here. We've seen Dos Santos on corner taking duty. She's going to look to send this one into the penalty area. Can it create some chaos for Sydney FC? Dos Santos puts it in the goalkeeper's airspace, and Newbon with a strong claim.
Catching practice there for Newbon. She needed a bit more whip on that. Dos Santos.
Newbon has hooked the clearance straight to Thompson. Now Lemon to Hawkesby. Pushing it on Chimeth, who kept the ball under duress. Chimeth prods it on. Hawkesby. Flannery got a boot in. And now Chidiac, and the break is on. Chidiac with Ella O'Grady ahead of the ball. Here's O'Grady. Chidiac continues her run. O'Grady, from the school of Jeff Hopkins, takes it down to the corner. Turned off all the striker's instincts to go for goal and took it down to the corner instead. But it is going to be Sydney FC possession, although O'Grady has stayed down here and Chevet's having none of it. And frustration is boiling over as we tick to the last minute of stoppage.
Look, it's definitely frustrating when teams take this approach, but I mean, most teams do, and You've got to get yourself out of these situations, and Sydney FC just haven't been able to capitalise on the ball today.
O'Grady, victory of spilled possession. Does Flannery go for the opposite corner? It appears so. Flannery veering away from the penalty box, down to the opposite corner on the other side, but Bryson outpointed her. Sydney FC have got to go end to end. They've got 40 seconds to do it. Tobin, Lemon off the head. Beatty Goad is there. And Lemon Goad. No whistle. Ball stays at the feet of Chidiac. Morrison, the cool head victory need. Confirmation that Chevet was booked. It's almost immaterial with seconds ticking away. And will the final whistle go with the ball in the hands of Beatty Goad in her very last game? Jeff Hopkins says straight down the line, and that is where the throw goes. Chimeth, Chidiac. It breaks central. Thompson committed to the ball. Sayer pressed up for Sydney FC from here. Ibini. Lemon is second to the ball behind Beatty Goad. All on the generosity of the referee from here. They'll have a throw. There's a pulse for Sydney. One last hurrah, maybe. Goad clears it away. Referee looks at the watch. And the big blue goes Melbourne victory's way. Beatty Goad goes out a winner. Sydney FC left to contemplate another weekend at the foot of the Ninja A-League table. And Melbourne Victory have come to Allianz Stadium and taken all 3 points, thanks to an Alana Janchevsky penalty in the first half. It was a fun, free-flowing game until Victory pulled up the handbrake and then pulled out every trick in the book to manage this one to the finish line. It'll be so frustrating for Sydney FC. And there's your match winner, Alana Janchevsky, and there's the story. Beatty Goad, her 75th and final Ninja A-League game. And the former Matilda says goodbye with a win, because the full-time score was Sydney FC 0, Melbourne Victory 1. Teresa Polias, let's get into the match highlights. Well, this was a really fun, entertaining game until Melbourne Victory decided that everyone's fun was time to end.
It was plenty of highlights in that first half. It was end-to-end stuff. There was high energy. Both teams had their chances, and in that second half, you're right, Teo, Melbourne Victory were just comfortable with that 1-0 lead and able to control the tempo of the game. But and more frustration for Sydney FC here. The penalty, real questionable one. To me, I don't think it was a penalty. Nonetheless, a great finish from Janchevsky, and Victory just able to hold out that 1-0 lead.
And that was still in the relatively early stages of the game. It felt as though we were setting the tone of the match and that there might be more to come. But Sydney FC came into this weekend as the lowest scoring team in the league. And even though Indy Dos Santos caught the woodwork here, Teresa, they've scored 5 goals in 8 games. And those frustrations only continued to manifest throughout the second half.
And, you know, they're all trying out there. The effort's high. Millie Farrow was fantastic in terms of effort today. It's just, you know, when confidence is down, you know, it becomes a habit not scoring, and that's what's happening with Sydney FC at the moment. I mean, great chance there for Faye Bryson. But,
I mean, really reflective of the second half, that shot off target, that fairly tame attempt on target. Sydney FC just didn't create great quality chances, did they?
No, and nothing really clear-cut, no real golden opportunity.